Good morning, Year 4. Today then is Thursday the 4th of February, and this is the beginning of our new English unit on dragon poetry. So here's some pictures that may inspire you with your writing throughout the next few weeks. If you can jot in your English books, Thursday the 4th of February 2021, and the title today is Discuss a Text. And we're going to explore a poem today and look at some of its features and what we like and what we don't like. So today's focus then is on imagination and collaboration. Now it's quite hard to collaborate when we're not in school, but you might have someone at home who will be able to collaborate with you, or over tea tonight you might be able to discuss some of your ideas with someone at home. So we're going to do a wonder wall then. So you're going to do this in your books today. So we are going to look at a picture from our poem, and I'd like you to jot down in your English books in bullet point some of the things you wonder about it. Okay, so I wonder where, I wonder when, I wonder who, I wonder why, I wonder how, I wonder what. Have a go and see if you can write me at least one wonder question for each of those sentence openers. So pause the video here, have a go at that, and then come back and join me with your suggestions. Okay, now I know that your teachers would love to see your ideas on this, so make sure you take a photo of your work at the end of the lesson and send it to your teachers. Maybe you'd like to put a star next to the 3 wonder questions that you feel are the most interesting. So, over the next 2 weeks then, we are going to be looking at a narrative poem. Now, I'm going to read you our narrative poem, which is linked to dragons. And what I would like you to do is, whilst I'm reading it, is I'd like you to bullet point 3 things, or more if you can, that you notice about the poem. So, here's the poem. A Dragon Tale. Oh, let's go back up to the top. Are you ready? By Yvonne Lynch. So I want you to think about what you know about this dragon and what does the dragon do, as well as the features of the text. Does it rhyme? Is there figurative language? Okay, are you ready? Deep, deep down in the darkest cavern lived inside a fierce dragon whose emerald eyes were sure to glare at those who dared to trespass there. His teeth were long and sharp as blades. He ate whole sheep that sadly strayed. Long and pointy was his tongue, huge hooked claws, most deadly talons. His skin was a tough red scaly armour. Out from his nostrils lit flames of fire. His wings outstretched from either side. When he beat them, he'd take flight. His tail was like a dinosaur's. It'd knock an elephant to the floor. Like an owl, he'd hunt his prey at night, his shape silhouetted in the full moon's light. Now, all the people in the village around would hear a screeching, roaring sound. They'd lock up all their windows and doors, fearing their fate in the dragon's jaws. The dragon had eaten so many of them, so on this dragon they planned revenge. They sent a messenger to the king to plead for a knight to come on his trusty steed, to slay the dragon that had done them harm, so it must be a brave, strong, courageous man. But the messenger was left sadly dismayed, for the king took his knights on a holy crusade. Not at all knowing quite what to do, he spoke to the princess so pure and true. She told him not to worry at all, she'd send someone to fight their cause. 2 days later, a knight arrived, shining armour, sword and lance by his side. The villagers hailed and welcomed the knight and prayed for him to win the fight. The knight decided to strike at dawn, for the dragon lay asleep in the early morn. He rode up to the deep dark cavern where sleeping soundly lay the dragon. From his horse he made the charge and lunged his lance until his heart. The dragon screeched out in mortal pain. Now at last the dragon was slain. The knight so boldly had won the day. Back to the village he made his way. But when he took his helmet off, the villagers had a mighty shock. As there for everyone to see was not a man at all his trusty steed, but the princess herself, so pure and sure, saying, "Job done. Is there more I can do?" So have a think. What does that poem do? What features does it have? Now, hopefully then you've come up with some of these bullet points that I have. So it's non-rhyming. There's not a rhyming pattern throughout the poem. There's ambitious expanded noun phrases. So if we go back to the poem, there are expanded noun phrases. Okay. Emerald eyes, long, sharp teeth, tough, red, scaly armour. Now, the word ambitious means it was exciting or interesting. They didn't just put it was hard, red, shiny armour. They've chosen to use the words tough, red, scaly, so that it gives more emphasis on what the dragon was like. They've used alliteration, so some of you might have found that. Let's go back and have a look. So alliteration, the same letter for the beginning of words. Deep, deep down, the darkest cavern. In that line, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 words that begin with D. Okay. If we go down through, we may find some more. Let's scroll down. His shape silhouetted. So 2 words next to each other that have both got the sound at the beginning. Okay. Now, we said there wasn't a strict rhyme pattern. There are odd parts that rhyme, like plead and steed rhyme. Okay, but there isn't a true repetitive pattern all the way through. We've got night and fight. Okay, so some verses or stanzas have got rhyme, but others don't. Prepositions then, phrases that tell us where something is. So if we go back and have a look, lived inside. So inside, a preposition. Let's keep going down. Down, down, down. Out from his nostrils. So they describe where they've gone. Okay, prepositional phrases to describe what that dragon is doing. And then apostrophes then for contractions or for possession. Now, it depends on what words you use in your poem, whether you'll use apostrophes or not. Not all narrative poems will have apostrophes in, but they may do, because a narrative poem then tells a story. So our poem today has told us the story of this dragon and what happens. Now, this is the part of the lesson I think you're going to enjoy the most. So you need to grab yourself a piece of plain paper, and going back to the poem, which I'll put on the screen again at the end of the lesson, I want you to draw a picture of the dragon from the story. So you need to be really careful about your details. You need to make sure that if it says it's got pointy ears, your dragon has pointy ears. If it says it's red, your dragon is red. Okay. And then I would like you to take a photo of your work today and send it to your teacher so they can see how similar the dragon photos or pictures are across the class. So I'm going to go back now so you can see the poem. Let's go back and I'm going to pause it. Let's go back. Oh, too far. Let's go this way. Where's our poem? There it is. So I'm going to scroll down so that you can see it. So if you want the beginning part of the poem, you'll be able to scroll back and see this part on the screen. And pause it and you'll be able to reread it. Now I'm going to scroll down past that one and you can see the next stanzas. Okay, now I'm going to carry on down so you can pause it in between when it's still. And the next stanzas. and again to those two stanzas. Now, a narrative poem is fairly long because it's using the idea of a story. It tells a story. Then the next two stanzas for you to see, and then right down to the bottom. Ooh. And finally, there's the last one. So you'll need to pause your video at different parts in order to see each paragraph. I'm really looking forward to seeing your pictures at the end of this. Have a good day, Year 4, and I shall speak to you in English tomorrow. Bye.